Have you ever wondered what competencies does AI struggle to replicate? Hello, I'm David Elster, and welcome to my very next AI Chore Cast, where I like to discuss forward-thinking ideas within talent development that'll help you get ahead at work. Recently, I discovered a great read called Learning Ecosystems by Katja Schipperheijn, and it's a great book that talks about innovative approaches to learning and development, human-centered but tech-driven strategies leveraging AI when it comes to talent development. It's an absolute great read. But one thing that I did is from this book and my book, Doing the Chores, and Professor Stephen Reiss's book, Who Am I?, talking about the 16 fundamental motivators that every human being has, I asked AI to have a conversation about these key competencies that AI cannot replicate. So in this next AI Chore Cast, it's going to highlight the 5 or 6 competencies that Katja mentions in her book that just simply can't be replicated by AI. Empathy is an example, curiosity, entrepreneurship. Those are some of the examples of the competencies that she referenced. And when it comes to Professor Stephen Reiss's research on the motivational profile, what are the 16 fundamental motivators that every human being has? How does that tie in to what Katja has talked about? It's pretty fascinating chore cast. So I hope you take a moment and listen to see what AI has to say about these references, and how does this connect to what I call Talent Development 2.0. But before I begin, though, I want to highlight, I actually have a love-hate relationship with AI. There's a lot of things I love. I would not be doing this AI Chorecast if it wasn't for AI. I'm doing a lot of things on doingthechores.com that leverage AI, and it's really helping me become better at communicating what Talent Development 2.0 is. But there are some things that I don't like about it, for the fact that there's a lot of struggles in rural America regarding, water usage, electricity, and things of that nature. So I kind of have a love-hate relationship, but let's hopefully that we learn how to navigate these changes, much like a farmer has navigated these changes from the days of plowing with horses and working with blacksmiths to having autonomous tractors out there. So let's go ahead and jump into this deep dive here and listen to see what AI says about Katja's book, Doing the Chores, and Professor Stephen Reiss's profile, and what can you learn from this to help you get ahead at work. So let's go ahead and take a deep dive.
Think about the family farm for just a second. Generations ago, farmers depended completely on horses, right? Which meant they also relied heavily on, blacksmiths to make horseshoes, fix harnesses, and just support that entire horse-powered farming ecosystem.
Right. The blacksmith was essentially the absolute cornerstone of the community.
Exactly. But then the tractor arrives, and it totally changes agriculture forever. Suddenly, gas stations and mechanics became infinitely more important to a farmer than stables and blacksmiths. Fast forward to today, and you have some farms using completely autonomous tractors guided by satellites and AI, doing the work without a single person.
Yeah, it's a truly massive shift.
It really is. And welcome to today's deep dive, where we are exploring that exact kind of technological shift. We're looking at concepts from David Elster's Doing the Chores, Katja Schipperhein's Learning Ecosystems, and Stephen Reiss's The Science of Motivation to tackle, the elephant in the room.
Right, the very real fear of AI at work.
Yes. Because if you are an average worker today, you might be feeling incredibly nervous about AI changing your job, or the threat of automation, or just the daunting prospect of needing to upskill later in life. And we really want to validate those fears. It is completely rational to feel anxious when the ground is shifting beneath you.
Absolutely. But, looking back at your farming analogy, the lesson is actually pretty simple. Technology constantly changes the nature of work, but humans adapt. Farmers have lived through technological disruption for generations, continually adapting and finding new opportunities. AI is not going away. So the future will absolutely require you to collaborate with AI.
Right. So Trying to outcompute the machine is just not the answer.
Oh no, you will lose that game every single time. The secret is strengthening the human competencies that robots still really struggle to replicate.
Which makes sense, but what is the actual difference there? Like, what is the specific human value?
Well, it really boils down to this. AI can generate information, but humans generate meaning. AI can process language, sure, but humans build relationships. AI can automate tasks, but humans still have to navigate trust, motivation, uncertainty, conflict, and, collaboration.
Oh, information versus meaning. I really love that. So where do Katja Schipperhein's competencies come in? She outlines 7 of them, right?
She does, yeah. The primary focus here are these 7 competencies: curiosity, openness, entrepreneurship, resilience, optimism, empathy, and consilience.
Consilience being like the ability to bring unlikely things together across different disciplines. But wait, I have to ask, aren't things like empathy and optimism just innate personality traits? I mean, can you actually learn them?
It's a really common culture, but Katja points out these are actually the carriers of skills. They are expressed through our daily behavior, our knowledge, and our attitude. They are what allow us to actively translate complex problems into opportunities.
Couldn't an advanced AI just mimic being empathetic or optimistic?
It can mimic the words, yeah, but it doesn't actually feel anything.
Yeah.
And this is where David Elser connects Katja's competencies to Stephen Reiss's research on the 16 basic human motivators.
Right, the biological drivers.
Yeah.
Because AI lacks fundamental human desires.
Exactly. Let's map them out really quickly. Take curiosity. Katja's competency of curiosity is driven directly by Reiss's basic human desire for curiosity, literally, the biological need for understanding.
While an AI just stops when the prompt is fulfilled, it doesn't actually care why something happened.
Right. Then there is openness, which is fueled by independence, curiosity, and acceptance.
Acceptance. How does that work?
Well, we have a primal need for social cohesion. We stay open to a coworker's weird idea because, we want to be accepted by the group, and AI doesn't need social acceptance.
Wow. Yeah, that makes total sense. What about entrepreneurship?
That connects to power, independence, status, and saving, which essentially means saving or collecting resources.
So taking a big risk at work is actually driven by our need for status or independence. An AI sitting on a server doesn't want to build a legacy or crave power.
Precisely. And then there is resilience. Elser lightly references the gritty reality of hard work from doing the chores here. Resilience is anchored in tranquility, honor, order, and vengeance.
Wait, vengeance? That sounds incredibly toxic for an office environment.
I mean, think of it more as that I'll show them mentality. Bouncing back from a failure just to prove the doubters wrong. It is a very uniquely human fuel for resilience.
Okay, I see what you mean. And what about optimism and empathy?
Optimism relies on idealism, acceptance, and social contact, while empathy is deeply rooted in social contact, family, idealism, and acceptance.
So caring about your team stems from that biological drive for family or social connection. An AI doesn't feel the need to protect a coworker who is struggling.
Not at all. And finally, consilience taps into curiosity, order, independence, and power. The drive to bring order to chaos and leverage it for influence.
Think about that, listeners. An AI might be able to define the word family or vengeance, but it doesn't feel the biological need to protect a loved one or right or wrong. Because AI lacks those 16 fundamental human desires, it can never genuinely replicate the empathy, resilience, or entrepreneurship that stems from them.
Exactly. And because humans are driven by these diverse motivations, the old ways of working just don't fit anymore. This is where David Elser introduces Talent Development 2.0. We're totally moving away from heroic, leader-centric thinking.
Yeah, that old myth that one lone genius boss commands everything and progress is just made by great men. Kind of like what Leo Tolstoy argued against, right?
Right. Tolstoy noted history is made by the collective. So to thrive alongside AI, we need 4 clear definitions for this new workspace. First is leadership. Based on Matthew Chodkowski and Joseph C. Rost, leadership is an influence relationship among collaborators who intend to enact meaningful change for their mutual benefit.
So it's not just a job title, it is an influence relationship.
Exactly. Second is management. That is simply the exercise of authority to create structure, consistency, efficiency, and stewardship. We don't need to dive too deep into that, but it is very distinct from leadership.
Right. Management is the structure, leadership is the influence.
Third is smart followership, defined by Elser as the ability and willingness to learn from and support those with authority or expertise while still thinking critically and contributing value.
So you aren't just blindly following a spreadsheet. You use your human context to push back when needed.
Yes, which requires the fourth definition. People skills. This is what we traditionally called leadership skills.
Yeah.
But now they absolutely must be developed in every single role.
Because as AI handles more of the repetitive and information processing tasks, your people skills become more important, not less. The future really depends on collaboration over heroic leaders.
Entirely. It is humans collaborating with AI, contributors collaborating with managers, managers collaborating with contributors, and organizations collaborating across expertise.
So bringing this all together, AI will absolutely create disruption. There is just no avoiding that.
It will. But it also creates massive opportunity for people who strengthen those human competencies that robots struggle to replicate. We need to learn how to collaborate with AI in an eco-friendly way for all.
Yeah, a final thought to mull over. We don't just need to use AI to work faster, we need to collaborate with it so that it benefits all of society, ensuring technology actually serves human well-being.
We have the agency to shape that future together.
The future may not belong to the strongest heroic leader. It may belong to the strongest collaborators. AI may change the tools we use, but people skills still shape how humans work together, and that is doing the chores. That is talent development 2.0.
So what did you think of that deep dive? The first time I listened to it, actually after prompting AI to have this conversation, I was like, wow, this is pretty interesting. Because let's be honest, a lot of us out there are feeling a little insecure about AI. Is it going to take my job? Am I going to have to upskill myself in certain areas in order to stay relevant? And the answer to that question is, I don't know. I really don't know. But what I do know is that we're going to have to continue to learn and collaborate and understand AI, because honestly, I don't think it's going anywhere. So we need to be able to collaborate with AI, understand what AI can do and what AI cannot do. If you follow me on Doing the Chores, there's a link to something called substack.com. And I encourage you to follow on me there because I post a lot of blogs talking about some of these challenges. And also, I give you recommendations on how to showcase how you're leveraging AI at work and showcasing at work what AI can do and what AI cannot do. So I feel like Katja's book highlighting those key competencies that are truly human is where AI cannot replicate is very, very valuable, along with Professor Stephen Reiss's Who Am I and his motivational motivators, his 16 fundamental motivators, and all the research he's done in motivation. Understand that. And I think you're going to really open up the door on how to effectively market yourself, and not only market yourself, but how you're collaborating with AI. I firmly believe in Talent Development 2.0 is not necessarily about the leader. The future of talent development, to me, in my opinion, is about the collaborator. You know, if you're talking about leading, you're typically talking about you. If you're talking about following, you're talking about me. But if you're talking about collaborating, you're talking about us. So hopefully you enjoyed this quick AI Chore Cast, and I encourage you to give me a like and a follow, and I hope to see you in another session. So until next time, have a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon.